Learning English through stories is one of the most natural and enjoyable ways to improve your language skills. When you listen to a story, your brain learns new words, grammar, and expressions without even trying. It's like your mind is absorbing English while having fun. If you enjoy this, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell for notifications. We bring you new stories every day to help you improve step by step. Amir was curious about the quiet moments in cities. He loved places where time seemed slower and people moved gently. One early morning he found himself walking the narrow streets of Vienna, looking for a small, old cafe he had heard about. The city was still waking up, but the soft light of dawn was already coloring the buildings in gold and pink. He turned a corner and saw it. An unassuming door between two shops with a small wooden sign hanging above. The name was simple, just Café Still. It looked like a place that had been there for decades, maybe longer. The windows were foggy with the cool morning air, and a faint smell of coffee floated outside. Amir pushed the door open and stepped inside. The warm air hit him gently, carrying the rich scent of roasted coffee beans and fresh bread. The wooden floor creaked softly beneath his feet. The walls were lined with old photographs and paintings, some faded by time but still full of stories. The tables were made of dark wood, worn smooth by years of use. The cafe was quiet. Very quiet. Only a few customers sat scattered at tables, mostly old men and women reading newspapers or writing in notebooks. Amir liked that. He chose a small table by the window and sat down. Outside, the street was still empty, and the light was soft and calm. He didn't want to talk or use his phone. He just wanted to listen. And the sound around him was amazing. The coffee machine hummed softly like a heartbeat. Steam hissed gently as it pushed hot air through the pipes. Water dripped rhythmically into cups. The soft clink of spoons against ceramic saucers punctuated the quiet. It was a peaceful symphony of small noises, but to Amir it was music. As he sat there, he noticed the barista moving carefully behind the counter. She worked with skill and patience, pressing buttons, lifting levers, and watching the coffee pour perfectly into each cup. Every movement was precise, like a dance learned over many years. Amir could almost feel the warmth and energy in her work. The smell of coffee grew stronger, mixing with the faint scent of cinnamon and fresh pastries from the kitchen. Occasionally, a soft sigh escaped from one of the customers, as they took their first sip and relaxed into the moment. Amir closed his eyes for a minute and let the sounds fill his mind. The world outside the cafe seemed far away. Here time slowed down and every little noise became important. He thought about how often people rushed through their mornings, busy and distracted. But here in this old cafe, the slow rhythm was like a gift. It gave him space to breathe, to notice, and to feel calm. He looked around more carefully. The chairs were old but comfortable. The lamps gave a warm, golden light, and the wooden shelves behind the counter held glass jars filled with coffee beans, tea leaves, and sugar cubes. A small chalkboard showed the menu written by hand: espresso, cappuccino, latte, and a few pastries. Every detail felt personal, like the cafe was alive with history. Amir didn't want to leave. Time passed slowly, and the sun rose higher in the sky outside. Shadows moved across the street, and the city slowly began to stir. But inside the quiet stayed. A few more customers arrived, but they spoke softly or didn't speak at all. The barista smiled politely but continued her careful work. The coffee machine never stopped humming. Amir thought about how simple moments like this could be so powerful. Just sitting in a quiet cafe, listening to the sounds of coffee being made, could bring a strange kind of happiness. It was not loud or exciting, but deep and real. He looked out the window again. The street outside was filling with people now, businessmen rushing, tourists with cameras, bicycles passing by. But Amir had already found his special moment. A secret part of Vienna that was only for those who arrived early enough. He took a deep breath and smiled to himself. Maybe the best parts of travel were not the famous places or busy markets, but the quiet corners where life moved gently. The moments when you simply stop and listen. The cafe was a small world of its own, full of sound and smell but also peace. Amir felt grateful for that morning, for the chance to slow down and enjoy something simple but beautiful. When he finally stood to leave, he felt different. More calm. More connected to the city. The coffee aroma followed him out the door and into the bright morning light. As he walked away, Amir promised himself to find more moments like this. Quiet mornings, slow sounds, and peaceful places. Because sometimes, those small things were the best memories. You just learned English in a natural and enjoyable way by following Amir's morning in the old Viennese cafe. Your brain picked up new words, useful expressions, and sentence flow without effort. That is the true power of storytelling. Every day we bring you stories like this to help your English grow step by step. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell to never miss a new story. Now it's your turn. Have you ever found a quiet place that made you feel peaceful? Write your story in the comments below. We want to hear your moments and share together.